Alright, tonight I want to talk about the zen of motorcycling. It was mentioned in one of the comments. Memphis Mike said, seems like you get cut off on almost a daily basis. Yeah, I could see somebody saying that. I do get cut off quite a bit, but it's the environment I ride in. I'm in commute traffic during, the beginning of rush hour. And a lot of those people are very impatient, and there's a lot of people on phones. And I don't know, in the last 10 years, I think, it seems like drivers have just gotten so much worse. But when you're riding a bike, you can't let that get to you. If it gets to you and you get pissed off and upset, you need to pull over and chill, because you will get hurt. That motorcycle out there has one mission in life, and that's to kill you. So you've got to keep that in mind. It's not just the cagers, but the bike will get you too, especially when it's a 900-pound bike. You have to be on your game and focused in stop-and-go traffic. That bike wasn't designed for stop-and-go commute traffic. That bike was designed to get out on the interstate and just go. I make it work. Many other people make it work. It's more of a challenge than even a Harley is. It's more comfortable than a Harley in a commute, but a Harley's a little bit lower. It's a little bit easier. You can flat foot. Well, I can barely. Both my feet. I'm kind of on the balls of my feet a little bit when I'm. Both feet are down. I can almost flat foot it, but not quite. If I took all the air out of the rear suspension, I could flat foot it. That's, I'm probably not quite there, but it makes it a little bit more of a challenge to ride. You learn the workarounds. Like, I usually keep my right foot on the brake when I'm at a stop, and my left foot's the one balancing the bike. And that, I can have my foot completely planted that way. Which I guess they teach in the MSF. They teach you to keep, I believe they teach you to keep a foot on the brake and your transmission foot on the ground. And I keep the bike in gear, and I've got the clutch pulled in. If it's a long light, the car behind me is already stopped, then I might put it in neutral and let it sit there. But usually I don't. I usually keep the clutch in, bike in first gear, ready to move if I need to. My bike has a taillight modulator on it. It has a headlight modulator on it, and people still don't see it. One purpose of keeping your foot on that brake, besides the bike rolling, because you aren't going to stop it if it starts to roll, is it keeps my brake lights on. But again, the biggest thing though is when an incident happens, you always take a deep breath and just move on. You don't get in their face. You just ride on, because if you get in their face, you're just going to start a conflict, and then you're really going to have that adrenaline pumping, and then you're going to start making mistakes. It's just better to either pull off the road or just be calm. Be the willow that bends in the wind. It's a Zen thing. You really have to embrace Zen when you ride a bike and and stop and go traffic. If you don't, one, you're not going to enjoy it, because honestly, the commute's easier in a car. I do it because I do enjoy the challenge. Traffic doesn't bother me on the bike. It's a challenge for me, and I to use the bike to, because it's a skill test like anything else, especially with a big bike, to ride it in stop and go traffic, to get it to where you can creep it forward without putting your feet down on the ground, to get to where you can split lanes with that beast. I've done it. I can do it. Doesn't bother me. Well, it's a little bit sketchy, but I can do it. Incidentally, it's legal here in California, so I don't want any messages down below. There's reasons for it. Again, stop and go traffic happens to be one of them. It's one of the reasons why you filter to the front, so you don't get smushed between two cars. A lot of people don't understand that one, but if you're at a dead stop behind a car and another car doesn't see you and rear ends what they think is the car in front of them, they're going to smush you between two cars. It's one of the reasons why filtering is legal here. It's so you can get out of the way and out in front. at a traffic light. Of course, the drawback is you're taking a chance when you're moving between cars. Sometimes you get people with attitudes. I very, very rarely run into that. Usually, if I'm splitting lanes, people, at least in my area, tend to move out of the way because they know. Uh, and you kind of give them away when they do that, because it makes my life easier. It brings the pucker factor down a little bit, because that's a big, wide beast of a bike. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you tonight. I've also been thinking about maybe making a video. I have a big patch of carpet outside that we've got the kids' pool on, and I'm thinking about moving the pool off of it, setting my bike on its crash bars, and making a video about how easy and how to put my bike back up on its wheels. It's not as hard as you think. It's actually fairly easy. You use your legs. I saw a video where they had a 98-pound woman doing it, a real tiny thing, and she could do it with an 1800, which is comparable on weight. But when you put them back on the wheels, 50 pounds one way or the other doesn't matter, especially with the Gold Wings, because they kind of just sit on their crash bars, and it's real easy to put them back up on their wheels when they're sitting on their crash bars. But in the video where I dumped my buddy's 1100, that was actually sitting on its side, and you saw I got it back up on its wheels just like that. It's the same technique. It's real easy, and that was actually the more challenging side, because, well, no, it wasn't. It was on the right side. Normally with a Gold Wing, you put the kickstand down and it rolls off the kickstand and lands on its side, at least with the 1500s, if you're not real careful. Anyway, have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you here tomorrow. I probably shouldn't say that, because it almost jinxes me when I say that. I almost didn't get a video done today, and yesterday, which is today, I said I'll see you tomorrow. So, yeah.